welcome back to my channel and the fourth and final week of the Harry Potter lettering challenge. So I'm kind of cramming the last 2 days that technically would go into week 5 into this video as well. So let's go ahead and get started with day 23. So today's prompt is a nice short one. And let's see, where are we? Chapter 13, Nicholas Flamel. So I decided to do kind of a flame ombre sort of thing. We'll see how it actually comes out. So let's get started. Okay, so for day 23, I had this thought in mind of what I wanted to do, and as always happens when I try and do shading like this, it never comes out as neatly as I want it to. I don't know, I think it must be one of those things that you just have to practice, but I like the color combination, so I was using this kind of orangey 905 and a yellow 025 to get this effect, and I wanted it to be a little bit more ombre, however I forgot to get out my blending tool, so we're just gonna leave it like this. But what I wanted was to have all of the darker kind of in the center and then have it sort of go out into the yellow. So yeah, just a fun little kind of playing around, and then I just did little dots with a white gel pen just for fun. So yeah, that is day 23. Hey guys, I am back with day 24, which is a longer quote today, so let's take a look. So day 24, I got this out of the library weeks ago for a bit of light reading, Hermione. So since this is a longer one, I do plan to kind of have a more minimal style of lettering, if you will. However, I did pull out these 2 brown Pentel sign pens. I'm thinking I might do some kind of, pick out a couple of words to do like an accent sort of thing. I'm not really sure. We're gonna kind of wing it today and see how it goes. So this one I tried to play around a little bit with composition, which as you can see, since I don't actually plan anything out in advance, some of it worked fairly well and some of it not so much. For example, if I had planned this out, I would have done everything kind of in a line here. I would have moved this light reading bit a little over and moved all that. However, this is one of the things that I really like about lettering challenges, where I'm just doing this for myself, and so I can play around with different things of composition without actually having to worry about if the end result like really comes out the way that I want it to. For example, I was also playing around with this. I was trying to make out a little bit wider, and this like UT transition is like super awkward. I wouldn't actually do that again, but now I know that that doesn't work the way that I would want it to. So yeah, I really enjoyed this quote a lot, and so I had fun kind of playing around with it. And you'll notice I have my fun little lettering style that I was playing with last week has made another appearance. So that is it for day 24. Hey guys, so it is time for day 25 of the Harry Potter Lettering Challenge. And this one I think is going to be kind of fun. So, day 25 is chapter 14, Norbert the Norwegian Ridgeback. So what I wanted to do with this one was to try a different style of blending with Tombow. So I have this light green 173 and a darker green 245, and we're going to play around. So normally I use an acrylic block like when you would use for stamps. However, I cannot find where I have stashed mine. I have no idea where I put it. It's been a really long time since I've played around with blending Tombows, so who knows where it ended up. However, what I can do is pull out my ruler. So we're gonna see how this works. I'm just gonna use one side of my ruler to blend, and you can kind of see how it goes. And then I do like to have a Kleenex to wipe it off just so it doesn't stain. So let's see, how am I gonna do this? I think we're gonna start this way. And to show you, what I like to do is I write with the lighter color and then I use the darker color to blend into that. So you can do tip to tip blending. However, I don't know, I just don't really do that way. I tend to do it this way. So I put down some of the darker color on my block, and then I go over it. So you'll see I'm leaving some of the lighter color down there. And now I can write. So you can see, since I did a little bit of shading for each of the words, how it kind of changes depending on where on the brush you actually get that second color. So this one, I guess I got it more closer to the tip, so you have almost a shading within the actual letter where it's lighter on the left and dark on the right. Whereas with these two, it actually just started out as a richer green and then it faded to the lighter green that I was using to write with. So yeah, I like playing around with this style. I am not really good at controlling it. So for example, I really like when it shades like this, but it's not something that I can always repeat intentionally every single time because like I said, I got it a different way this time. So I do recommend using something like an acrylic block. I did clean this off and there's a tiny bit of green still on here, which I can probably just wash off with soap and water. But if you don't have a plastic ruler or an acrylic block, you can use something like saran wrap or a plastic baggie or what have you, or you can just do a tip-to-tip type blending, which I actually have never really tried, so I'm not really sure how that changes the end result, so I should probably try that at some point. But yeah, so that is day 25. Hey guys, so for day 26, I am back to the Pentel sign pens, and the prompt for today, is day 26. Bless him, he knows his mummy, Hagrid. So what I thought I would do is use the green as kind of an accent and then do everything else in gray, and we'll just kind of see how it goes. So this one was a nice quick one. I don't know what I was doing with this B. Yep, this is the struggle. Me and capital letters in hand lettering. I don't like them most of the time, but the rest of it was kind of fun. I actually centered it fairly well, all things considered. If I'd moved the mummy a little bit left, it would have been perfect. But yeah, I wanted to keep the green since it's since Norbert's a Norwegian Ridgeback, but I didn't want to do everything in green because that's kind of dark. So I kind of like this gray-green combination. I think it looks kind of nice. So that is it for day 26. Hey guys, and welcome back to day 27. So I'm back with Tombows again, and today's prompt is chapter 15, The Forbidden Forest. And since a couple days ago I did some blending with Tombows, I thought today I would try a different style. So I mentioned before that I had never tried doing the tip-to-tip blending style, so we are going to give it a go. Hopefully it works out somehow. We'll see. And yeah, let's get going. So actually, before I start, I'm using N45 and 249 for this one, and I think what I'm going to do is blend the green into the gray and write with the gray marker. And like I said, I kind of picked this combination thinking I was going to do something a little bit different, and then at the last second I was like, oh wait, I could do the tip-to-tip blending. So we'll see how these colors work. It'll be an experiment. Okay, so tip-to-tip blending is much harder than I expected it to be. I got a little bit at the beginning here, and I'm wondering if it's because I picked two pretty dark colors. So if I were to do this in the future, I would definitely try and pick something that is significantly lighter to be the color that I write with, and then do a darker color to blend in. And so since I realized kind of I was losing that green blending, I just decided to go ahead and do forest in the green straight away and do a drop shadow in the green just to kind of give it a little bit more dimension. Now this is one where I prefer to do especially if I'm doing shadows, a drop shadow with Tombows, I prefer to do a darker color for what I'm writing with and then the lighter color for the drop shadow, because you can see where I've got this like crossover, whereas when the drop shadow is a little bit lighter, it's less noticeable on the darker lettering that I've like got that overlap, if that makes any sense. But otherwise, I like how this one looks. I like the color combination of this one, even if the blending didn't exactly go as planned. Okay, so that is day 27. Hey guys, and welcome back to day 28. We have another pretty short one today, which, let's see, day 28, Mars is Bright Tonight, Ronin. So I decided, since we have kind of a celestially quote, we're gonna go with yellow. Let's see if I can find my last page here. So I have Tombow 055 and my yellow Pentel sign pen, and yeah, this one's gonna be another pretty simple one. I'm just playing around with different size lettering and different styles rather than screwing around with a lot of embellishment and that sort of thing. So let's see how it goes. Okay, this is a really simple one, and I just went to play around with using these two different sizes, and I actually didn't realize that the colors were going to be so similar, which I think is really cool. I'm gonna have to remember that. So yeah, just kind of a fun little playing around one, and actually I really like how this composition came out. I think the one thing that I would do would be to make the is a little bit bigger, just because everything else is a bit larger, but otherwise I really like this one. So that is all I have for day 28. Hey guys, so I am back with day 29, which means we are nearing the end. Also, fun fact, July 29th is my half birthday. I know that's totally random, but anyway. So today's prompt is Chapter 16, Through the Trapdoor. So I have picked out this lovely brown, 977, mostly because I don't really use my brown markers very much, especially not for lettering. I've been trying to do them for this challenge because, for that very reason, I don't use them very often. So today, I think this one's going to be kind of a weird one. I have no idea how it's going to turn out. We're going to just see how it goes. So in terms of lettering for this one, I didn't do anything fancy whatsoever. I was kind of playing around with the composition since all three words in the prompt started with a T. Yeah, kind of a weird one, I know, but I had fun with it. The one thing I think I would do differently is I didn't leave myself enough room to do a tall enough H on this side here, whereas this one I really, this is a more normal sized H. But yeah, I was working with kind of fitting everything into the crossbar of the T, so it kind of is what it is. But yeah, just kind of a little random one for you guys today. So that's all for day 29. Hey guys, and welcome back to day 30. So this is a pen that I haven't used for this challenge yet, and I was going through my pen case and realized that this would be a really cool one for today's prompt. So first, let's see the prompt. We have day 30, chapter 17, The Man with Two Faces. So since we're talking about Quirrell and his two faces, I thought it would be kind of fun to do a double-sided pen. So this is actually a Tombow, I believe it's labeled as a calligraphy pen, and it's basically just a black brush pen on one side and a light gray brush pen on the other side. So I'm going to use both sides of this pen to do the prompt for today, and yeah, we'll see how it goes. So I have to say I really like how this one came out. I kind of waffled at the beginning as to whether I wanted to have most of it in black or most of it in gray, and in the end, I don't know how I decided, I just kind of did, but I like the composition of this one. I really like how that came out, so yeah, I'm really pleased with this one. And this is another one that the nib size of this pen is kind of like a Pentel sign pen, and it writes really nicely. It's a really nice pen to write with, and I love having this like gray and black combination in here. I think it's really pretty. So that is it for day 30. All right, guys, it is the last day of the Harry Potter lettering challenge. We have prompt number 31. And if you guys know Harry Potter, you probably know what it is. So today's prompt is just Happy Birthday, Harry. And I picked kind of a weird color combination. Basically, I picked a pink for the pink frosting that's on Harry's birthday cake, and I picked green for his eyes. Yeah, I just kind of wanted something a little weird, a little bright, since normally I sort of go with things that make sense with the prompt, if you will. Like this still does, but it's definitely a weirder color combination for me. So once again, I have no idea how I'm gonna do this. We're gonna play it by ear. Yeah, let's give it a go. All right, this one, composition was definitely, well, let's just say I played fast and loose with composition in this one. I really wanted to have the happy with like normal hand lettered calligraphy and then do blocks that kind of fit into it. However, I forgot that I have a lot of low descenders in happy, and so I had less space to like fit in birthday than I thought I would. So I don't dislike it, but it's definitely not very centered in any way, shape, or form. I think if I had to do this again, I would move this H off to the left over here, and I think that would kind of squish it around happy birthday and it would work a little bit better. But in order to kind of tie in these two colors, I did a little bit of like drop shadow shading, but with just the bullet point of the marker on both happy, or not on happy, on both birthday and on Harry. So yeah, and I have to say, I actually kind of like this color combination. I don't know, I was a little bit skeptical about it when I was picking out the colors, but I actually kind of like how it looks. So that is the end of July's Harry Potter lettering challenge. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I know it was a lot of days of lettering in one video, so if you guys actually stuck around and watched all of them, thank you very much. This was an experiment. I haven't done a lettering challenge like this before, and I thought that I would have more time to upload every single day, and it just didn't turn out that way, which is why I gave you guys week-long videos. Actually, you know what? Before I let you guys go, let's go ahead and do a flip through of the entire month so you can kind of see how things went. So I definitely hope that it's come through in my videos that I use lettering challenges as a way to practice using pens, using different writing styles, using different skills that I maybe don't have a chance to practice in my bullet journal, for example, because I tend to just letter things in a pretty standard way in my bullet journal, and I don't necessarily practice a lot of different fancy styles. Now, that's not to say, like, there are some people who have these really gorgeous, elaborate final pieces for lettering challenge prompts, and that is totally cool. I love looking at them on Instagram, but it can also be kind of intimidating to see that and think like, okay, I definitely can't do a lettering challenge because I'm not going to have an end product like that, and that's just not true. So, you know, you can also use lettering challenges as a way to just practice, and I hope that's come through in the videos for the challenge this month, that I have a lot of things that as I was going, you notice I don't pencil in anything ahead of time when I'm doing a lettering challenge. Now, obviously, if I was doing a real print, I would do this differently, but for a lettering challenge, I kind of just wing it, and I see what comes out, and I play with composition, and I play with different writing styles. I play with things that sometimes they turn out really well, and sometimes they don't. Sometimes my spacing is awful, and sometimes it works out. And so that's something that I don't know, I wanted to kind of show you guys, because I think that there's some things that we see online that just look so perfect, and I wanted to show you that it doesn't have to be that way. You can still do a lettering challenge and have fun. And one of the things that I've noticed with doing lettering challenges and not actually planning them out a lot in advance is that my spatial awareness gets better over time. The more that I practice, the more likely I am to actually wing something and have the composition and the spacing come out sort of the way I had envisioned it in my head. And so I really like it for that, because I'm not super diligent, we'll say, in my lettering practice, and so I like things that I can just sort of do and they kind of come out. So yeah, anyway, so sorry for the rambling, but I wanted to show you guys the entire month worth of prompts, since you guys kind of see them day by day and not all at once. And to just say, if you're thinking about doing a lettering challenge, I hope you'll try it, because they are a lot of fun. And there's no reason why you need to like agonize over your end product. You know, like I said, some things come out, some things don't. And it's all about playing around with it, and each time you get a little bit better. So yeah. All right, we are nearing the end. Oops, keep flipping back and forth in my notebook. Goodness. For example, this one. This was just the most ridiculous prompt, but I had fun doing it. All right, so that is the end. I will let you guys go. If you guys enjoyed this series, please consider giving a thumbs up and or subscribing to my channel, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!